Good morning. Zambian content creators have now been told that they have to pay taxes to the Zambia Institute of Marketing, bearing in mind that Zambia is not monetized on Facebook or YouTube due to some disagreements, or rather the high taxes of Zambia. So Facebook and YouTube feel they cannot get into a deal with the Zambian government. Now, for many months, years, we have spoken about Zambian content creators being monetized because at least they could earn something from social media, and nothing has ever been done. Whilst countries like Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, who's an old president that most of you mock because I have a son in Nigeria, Abimaris, who talks about the injustices of Zambia, has ensured that Nigerians are monetized and they're self-reliant, and Nigeria only gets 10% from that monetization income. Zambia is not monetized, yet you have a young president who understands the unemployment of the Zambian youths. Now, for this one, I would like to clap for the president. Well done. Many a times we have come on these social media platforms complaining about the injustices. None of you content creators speak about what is happening in Zambia. More recently, we lost a young man named Enoch Simfukwe, and he was murdered by Maria Zileno Zalomes. You know why most of you didn't speak about it? Because you're probably looking for a contract from the Tunzini farms for you to advertise for them on social media, and you get something. Abi? Now, according to the new legislation or laws, if you advertise for a company, you are supposed to pay 30%. Now, bearing in mind that most of you guys, content creators, share betting codes. I remember vividly about almost 2 years ago when I spoke about betting, most of you stood against me. I remember when I spoke about betting codes, and most of you guys stood against me. I spoke against betting in Zambia. Many of you guys called it empowerment. One young man who profoundly promotes betting because he earns from it insulted me, told me all sorts of things, and you guys were clapping for him. You said, look at this woman. She's a deputy Jesus. She wants to be involved in the empowerment that we have. Then what happened more recently? Hakainde Hichilema and his government, UPND, they put taxes on the betting, your earnings. 1. 2, now they're asking for taxes on the marketing. So say, for example, a Zambian content creator receives 5,000 kwacha for marketing. They have to pay 30% of that to Zambia Institute of Marketing. Now, I've seen some content creators complaining on social media, expressing their concerns and unhappy about this so-called new tax. And I posted on my page to say, you deserve it. Because I've never seen 99% of the content creators from Zambia even encourage people to register to vote. There's so many injustices that are happening in Zambia. You have been silent. You have been mute. So you are complaining because it now affects your stomach. It clearly shows that you're not on social media to stand for the people of Zambia, but you're there to eat, to feed your stomach. So as long as you're eating Hungarian sausage, you didn't care about the demise of Enoch Kasengele. You didn't care about how Maria Zalomes was reduced, her sentence was reduced from murder to manslaughter, and she was bailed by the DPP, Gilbert Piri. You didn't care. But now that it affects your stomach, you suddenly care. You suddenly want to write a letter to Hakainde Hichilema on social media. You suddenly want to call him daddy. You're calling him boss. That reminds me, when Yomap sang a song calling HH boss, most of you guys told me that we're just jealous because he's made money. It's business. Well, a musician should have integrity. And because they don't have integrity, we've seen what Chilewan has also said about Hakainde Hichilema being the man with money. They are praising him as a demigod. That's what HH wants, is for you to worship him. Chilewan too also sang a flop song. I've shared both songs on my social media platform so that you can have a look at what your artists, who sing music for you to dance in bars and clubs and weddings, kitchen parties, what they are doing. And most of you guys clap for them to say, don't be too hard on them. That is how they're surviving. Yeah. So why should we speak for content creators who are complaining about taxes when they can also do content praising Hakainde Hichilema? We have some dry comedy as well on social media that praises Hakainde Hichilema, and they receive opportunities to go to State House, and, as long as they're flaunting the name of HH, he will ensure you are empowered with a small change here and there. Okay? So many of you Zambians, you are not even aware that your Zambian musicians are eating crumbs, bread crumbs. You know why? Education, school, is a factor in this life. If you are educated, nobody will cheat you with 100,000 kwacha. I would rather I'm given a mining license and a mine for me to be able to mine than give me 100,000 kwacha and I close my mouth to speak against injustice. And this is what has been happening with our content creators. Some content creators pretend they're speaking for the people of Zambia, and then they side the present government. They go again the other side. And we don't have brave people. We only have cowards. Cowards that cannot stand for the people of Zambia. And that is why, as Zambian people, I don't even know how you patronize such type of people who can't even speak against what is happening. So suddenly, we should know that there is 30% taxes because content creators will suffer. It's not my problem. This is now between you and your daddy, HH, the one you call boss. Yeah, and he's doing exactly as that. HH is not a father. He's not a leader. He's a failed liar, a pathological liar, who has now introduced taxes on content creation. So imagine you get your own phone, you get your own camera, you get your own locations, your own settings, and you do your content and put like a small advert. You're not even monetized. Bingo, pay 30%. Now that's a boss. Like your map son, HH ni boss, opposition kufam. And you know what? These Zambian musicians are going to regret. After all, when your map sings, the songs that he sings for politicians, they always fail. It's a sign. And that reminds me of what is happening in Tanzania. Most of you people will say, oh, Zambia is not Tanzania. Zambia is not Malawi. Well, we will teach this Zambian government lessons. They have failed to empower the young people. They are just adding taxes on these young people so that they should continue to bootlick this government. This government, UPND, is all about poverty. You should stay in poverty to continue going to them, worshipping them. You can't even speak. So as long as you've never spoken against the injustices and you have not even used your platform of 500,000 followers, 600,000 followers to even tell the young people to go and register to vote, you have no business complaining on social media about how you're going to suffer with 30% taxes. Just pay your tax to your boss, Hakainde Hichilema. You deserve it. So guys, most of the times when we speak about these things, it may look as if it will never happen to you. But HH is a master planner. He has managed to oppress people in all angles. Whether you're a content creator, whether you're a politician, whether you're just a person abroad like myself, where they try to scare us by saying all sorts of things. And suddenly, prison is the only way. If you speak, you go to prison. Dear content creators, it's better you go in prison with dignity and people will praise you as a freedom fighter, like what the Malawians have done for the people. We have Fred O'Keefe, who's presently now a member of parliament, and another musician, I don't know his name very well, but two of them, they are members of parliament. Why? They stood for the people of Malawi. Whilst you are dancing, you are singing. Your Maps is singing song for HH, Chile 1 2, Aleteka, Aleboderapo. Whatever you are trying to sing, I don't even understand. Alebomba Kwisa. What has HH done? Apart from oppressing opposition leaders and closing the Patriotic Front. And now they are targeting SP, Socialist Party. So, this is HH for you. Enjoy your father. With that, guys, see you on my next video. It's a girl, Lele Mutams. You ain't seen nothing yet. You don't know HH. Good riddance. Now, remember to register to vote so that we should remove the ruthless leader, Hakainde Hichilema, to go, Lele Mutams. I almost forgot this. Most of you guys call me Deputy Jesus because I speak against things that are happening in Zambia, injustices. Now you see what it means when you blaspheme against God. He pays you back. So, for those of you who called me Deputy Jesus and were siding with the insultist, that talked about the betting cause and saying how I should mind my own business. Have you seen how Jesus has paid you back? Never use the name of God in vain and blaspheme. God has shown you fire. God has shown you pepper. So it's taxing on the betting, those of you who call me Deputy Jesus, and taxing on content creators. How great our God is. He has shown you that you should never use his name in stupidity.